wanted to try something slightly different but also not so different. Since it seems like people really enjoyed the ribbon music video I did, I thought it might be fun to discuss it like I do for the News to Me episodes. So let's start. I first had the idea in December 2023. I actually didn't think I'd make it at the time, or at least I wouldn't make it for a long time, because I was really focused on News to Me episodes and I knew that the characters needed to be more fleshed out before I could, show this kind of interaction per se. At first I thought I'd only do an animation meme for it, but I thought, hey, if I'm doing the chorus, that repeats a lot of times throughout the song, so why not just do the full thing? How hard could it be? I said, like a fool. I was hesitant at first because the last time I did a music video was my gacha phase. I'm kidding, I'm not that distraught about the gacha videos. They taught me how to edit, so it's no, don't watch them, please. And I knew that one took a long time to make, and I spend a lot of time on my videos now. Even then I did, but arguably far less detail went into it in terms of drawing and editing, because before I did a lot of things from scratch, sure, but now I've transitioned from half from scratch and half from other resources, the resources usually being Google, to everything being from scratch. And you don't think that you have 6 spare hours until you sit down at After Effects and realize, oh, it's 3 a.m. now. It also helps that I'm such a hermit crab and am editing 90% of the time. Not studying, I'm editing. Not working, I'm editing. Not eating, I'm editing. Eating, I'm probably still editing. But that is to say, I was concerned it would take time away from working on News to Me episodes. Lucky for me, I just finished an important one that I can release a bit later. And I figured if I can make an entire 20-minute episode, I can definitely make a music video now. The idea started out with just Venus looking cool, pretty much. And I knew to get the look that I wanted, I would need to do a lot of drawing. But at the time, I still wasn't sure if I was doing an animation meme or a full music video. So I was like, well, I'll just draw this and then I'll be over. Wrong. My original plan was actually just to do really simple shading on all of the drawings, probably just cell shading with screen tones. Unfortunately, I'm incapable of making my life easier, so I fully shaded every drawing. But I'm also glad that I did that because it pushed me to experiment a lot more with a monochrome color palette, which I've never done before. What was really fun and different for me was adding the little touches of blue and yellow and screen tones. I've actually wanted to try and use screen tones more prominently for a while, but always ended up forgetting or just not having the right piece for it. And since I wanted to do sort of a comic book-esque style, this was perfect for that. Also, fun fact, I had to edit the close-up drawing I did for Venus because after a day or two I realized, yes, this is a horrible abomination of anatomy. The shading I liked, but I finally realized something's not right here. I knew the eyes were too far apart, but for the life of me, it was a nightmare to try and figure out the structure of her face to try and correct it, because the shading covered it up. Thankfully, I draw in way too many separate layers, so I didn't have to redo too much of the shading. I know it's still not 100% perfect, but I think for the first time drawing in this style, it's okay. It might also have something to do with the fact that I was still getting used to drawing on the iPad instead of my teeny tiny phone screen. The other ones I was pretty satisfied with though. I had a lot of fun designing the outfits in particular. For the shade of red, I color picked it from the actual album cover, which the song is from. For me, the song has always been that same vibrant red as seen on the album cover for mood swings in Order 2. I also wanted it to feel sort of mischievous and romantic. Ugh. The idea of the ribbon is basically that. The ribbon represents love. I know, it's so cheesy. It's like I'm in a pit of flames being executed for my cringe. It's fine. But I thought of it similarly to the red thread of fate, which, if you don't know, here's a quick description from Wikipedia. The red thread of fate, also referred to as the red thread of marriage and other variants, is an East Asian belief originating from Chinese mythology. It is commonly thought of as an invisible red cord around the finger of those who are destined to meet one another in a certain situation situation as they are their one true love. There's plenty of beautiful stories and further information on this, so if you think this is interesting, I definitely encourage you to read about it. It's really neat. The link for the Wikipedia page is in the description. Anyways, I like the idea of the ribbon sort of chasing Kai around. Venus has it and has accepted it, and is now enticing Kai to accept it as well. As we can see in the chorus, Kai's hand initially doesn't have the ribbon on it. Then he looks again and boom, ribbon. Everyone say thank you, Venus. Hence the lyric, she's wrapped in a contagious ribbon, can hold the meaning of she's wrapped in a contagious love, which I think is really fitting to Venus. This is like a challenge to see how obvious I can be without just straight up saying what's going to happen in news to me. Like, surely you guys know, right? Like, we all know what's going on here, right? I feel like if you don't, people should never flirt with you because you're just gonna be like, oh, how cute. Anyways, great. Let's shut up now. I also wanted Kai to look really flustered throughout the video. Like, for example, the line, when she sings to me, I wanted it to be kind of like, you really want to deny that you think something someone did was cute. There's a lot of quotation marks in the video, and that's because I wanted it to be like the characters are talking to each other. The first verse would be like Kai saying that, probably only to himself though. Coward. Additionally, there's quite a few lyric changes in this video, which is something I seldom do, but I felt like it was really necessary here. Let's go over all the changes. During the chorus, the last "can't take this" is with a question mark and in quotations. I imagine this is something Venus is asking Kai. I changed the lyric in the first play of the pre-chorus to "tell me why you're blushing" instead of "while you're blushing," but it goes back to the original later on. I just thought at this stage of the characters' relationship, Venus would be asking why, and it's also just a very Venus question to ask. I also changed a lyric to "forget what they think," which was originally a swear word. I'm pretty sure it's not hard to guess which one it was considering the substitute I chose. I just changed it because it didn't really fit what I wanted, and I didn't feel like it would be the greatest idea to go from 0 swear words on my channel to a giant line of text saying fiddlesticks in bright red. And also, if this is something Kai is saying to Venus because, you know, media stuff, or maybe you don't know if you're new here, he doesn't seem like the type of person to phrase it like that. Though I didn't actually censor the word in the audio file because I didn't want to interrupt the song with a mute or a sudden beep. So it is actually the first time I featured a swear word on a video on my channel. Wow, Denise Bad Girl era, you can't stop me. I'm so bad. Like, I follow rules to a T, and I seek out the approval of my peers, and I always say thank you and please, and I will apologize if someone gets my order wrong. Just watch me. I'll get on my road safe approved bike and be a responsible driver, huh? Actually, riding a bike sounds pretty scary. So I'll get my driver's license and getting my road safe approved Prius car. Okay. Anyways, I remember the second part of the song's bridge being such a nightmare for me to figure out what to do with because I just completely forgot that that part of the song exists, and I was like, I don't know if this represents my characters, they're just some guys. But I figured it out. Then I got hit with another bullet, the instrumental part of the song. That was also really difficult because I had nothing to work with. So I ended up mostly doing glamour shots. I knew I was going to put the end scene in it, but I didn't realize just how short that would be compared to the length of the instrumental. Then the idea of the traveling ribbon saved me. It travels all the way to Kai, then wraps around his hand, shocking him. Like surprise, not electrocution. Okay, let's talk Easter eggs. First off, the door we see here is actually the same door to Venus's apartment and has the same number, 0709. You don't know this yet, but the moon is an Easter egg for something that will come later. The music notes during this part are actually the notes you would play in the chord for the specific part of the song. At least, I think so. I can't read sheet music yet, so I just tried my best. The notes should be A flat, B, D sharp, and G flat. But again, don't take my word on that. The pen here is Kai's pen, which is featured in the outro for News to Me, but this time in a red color. Then we have a newspaper about Venus. Reading, Venus Celestine, the highly trained daughter of 2 assassins, has got out of the legal battle scot-free. Despite mass debate over her innocence, the prosecution did not bring any charges against her. See more on page 14. And you know, 7 is my lucky number. 7 plus 7 equals 14. Are we surprised? No. The Celestines are the most dangerous assassins in the business, or rather, out of business. They are rumored to have killed hundreds, ranging from politicians to celebrities connected to them. And then at the bottom left, we have Selenite News CEO hires ex-assassin Venus Celestia. I almost said ex-girlfriend. Read more about the competition competition? I said competition instead of competitive. Oh my god. Read more about the should-be competitive CEO's questionable decision. This is what happens when you do things at 1 a.m. And then to the bottom right we have, Denise, you keep using the same newspaper template. Said nobody. I know. Let me live. I drew it, so I'm gonna use it. Also, I don't even think you care. But I'm running out of tabloids to make up about Venus, okay? It's like 1 a.m. And it was 1 a.m. and that's what led to that stupid typo. I think this lyric is especially fitting to her considering all the public opinions on her. The Heart Trophy says Heart Winner on the plaque. Considering who's awarding it, I'm assuming that Kai would want to win that. The text we have in the background here is a sneak peek for a future episode of News to Me. Reading, have you ever loved someone before? I figured you would know how to describe it best. And you're probably the only one who can leave a writer speechless. No, I will not elaborate. Also, we can see a scar through the sheer part of Venus's dress. See, I didn't forget to give the literal ex-assassin scars. They're just all conveniently at the backside. Haha. Huh. No, but actually Venus has a few scars. One there on her back, which is why it's rarely seen, and one on the inner side of her right leg, relatively thin but small, and potentially others, but you know, it's workshopping. This will hopefully be covered in a much later episode of News to Me. Anyways, that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like it. You know, if you're feeling generous. Aren't you a very generous person? Hello? Okay, anyways, thank you for watching. Bye! That's enough.